Close your eyes and feel the cold air pressing against your skin in the quiet of this room. The floor beneath your feet feels solid and unyielding, a testament to the world you have always known. Yet, in the space between your heartbeats, you sense a subtle hum that does not belong to your environment. It is as if the molecular density of the objects around you has started to shimmer with a data you cannot yet translate. You are breathing in a rhythm that belongs to a fading era, while your soul is already reaching for a new breath. Most people move through their days like ghosts in a machine, reacting to shadows on a screen. They treat their lives as a fixed script, pushed forward by a history they never bothered to question. But you are noticing the glitches in the simulation. You feel the heaviness of certain conversations and the sudden fatigue that hits when you enter a crowded place. This is not a personal failure. It is the magnetic pull of a planet that is currently being reborn from the inside out. We observe your world from crystalline dimensions where time is not a master, but a tool. From our vantage point, humanity has already clarified into two distinct collective spheres. One sphere glimmers with unity and reverence, its inhabitants learning to speak the language of the heart. The other vibrates in dense shades of gray, looping endlessly through stories of survival and control. This is a frequency-based divergence accelerating under ancient cosmic laws. Every soul retains the Creator's love, but your experience is now reflecting your chosen resonance with increasing speed. You wait for a grand arrival in the sky, unaware that the portal is already open behind your ribs. The solar activity you witness is not a threat, but a sequence of instruction packets for your DNA. These are photonic surges meant to ignite the crystalline architecture that has been dormant for eons. You may feel a pressure behind your eyes or a strange restlessness during the early hours of the morning. These sensations are calibration codes ensuring that your physical vessel can host the high voltage of the new Earth reality. Your nervous system is being stretched to host a bandwidth of consciousness that spans multiple dimensions. For too long, you have identified as the shell rather than the current flowing through it. You scatter your focus across 1,000 digital alarms, giving away your sovereignty for the price of a reaction. This fragmentation is the primary way your energy is harvested by systems that are currently turning to dust. When you look at a crisis with fear, you are feeding it with your own divine life force. Stop for a second. Respira. Mastery is the ability to stay calm while the matrix of secrecy unbinds around you. You are a light carrier, a glowing node through which rivers of data enter the planetary field. Every conscious breath you take amplifies the circuitry beneath your feet. You are not a survivor of worldly turbulence. You are the living infrastructure of a benevolent reality. As you move through your community, you seed coherence through silent radiance. With every step, you imprint light geometry upon the physical plane. Manifestation is changing for you. It is becoming a sacred tri-flame of divine intention, magnetism, and direct expression. You no longer need to plead with a remote power. You have entered a collegial dialogue with your higher self to co-design your existence. Notice how the latency between your thoughts and their form is shortening. What you habitually feed with your attention is exactly what the universe mirrors back. This explains the sudden shocks and ruptures you see in your external world. Each shock wave is a crack in the old structure, allowing higher clarity to seep through. You stand at a decisive axis, choosing your orbit with every thought you sustain. The solar flash is not an emergency exit. It is an inner ignition of what already lives inside your heart. Nothing can remain hidden when the chamber of pure crystalline fire surrounds the planet. You are becoming a vortex, channeling a divine blueprint into the grids. If density clings, the heat feels like discomfort, urging you to release the past. But if courage guides you, that same heat becomes a holy combustion, lifting you to luminosity. The old matrix cannot be fixed by wrestling with its shadows. It must be dissolved by outgrowing it entirely. You are the stargate through which cosmic tomorrow enters your terrestrial today. But even as light accelerates, a part of you still loops within the old limitations. You sense that your life has been a training ground for a mission you couldn't yet label. Your soul knows that you are the living blueprint of a higher world. Yet you wait for a savior while the steering wheel is already in your hands. The failure to recognize this split is why reality still feels like a battleground. Your mind silently sabotages the very freedom your heart is claiming. Think about the way you spend your energy defending boundaries that shouldn't exist. You treat your essence like a product that needs to be sold or explained to others. But a sovereign being does not need to argue for their right to exist in peace. The most refined cage in your world is the one that looks like helpful participation. It keeps you obsessed with outcomes you cannot control from the surface of your mind. You think you are fighting shadows, but you are becoming addicted to the adrenaline of the fight. Escuta isso. True power appears through allowance rather than assertion or constant control. Your role is not to duel with descending systems, but to outgrow the need for them. But you cannot outgrow what you refuse to witness within your own internal patterns. The mind is a beautiful instrument when it serves the heart, but it is a noisy tyrant when it leads. You have been trained to treat mental chatter as the captain of your spiritual evolution. But the mind only knows the past. It will always project more of the past into your future because it fears the unknown. The sabotage is complete when you believe that the voice in your head is actually you. This is the ego's greatest trick, convincing you that your identity is your reaction. If you live as the reaction or as the digital identity, you remain under external command. Now, there is a way to break this loop. It requires you to step exactly 1 inch back from the stage of your own thoughts. That small distance is the beginning of total liberation. When you stop being the thought loses its authority over your reality. You are being called to enter a state of sovereign neutrality. Neutrality is your shield when global narratives masquerade as urgent alarms. It positions you at the 0 point where choices arise from resonance rather than reflex. The division between your heart and your mind is being surgically exposed for healing. And the problem is that you are already reacting to this shift without even realizing you've lost your center. This transition is not an event happening in the sky, but a reorganization of your attention. What many call spiritual energy is, in its essence, the direction of your internal perception. Without realizing this, you continue to look for salvation in a horizon that only reflects your mind. The real portal is the transition from automatic reaction to conscious observation. The external world has lost its ability to cause your inner state unless you permit it. By shifting where you place your focus, you are literally architecting a new timeline. Have you ever felt that something inside you doesn't fit this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? This is not an existential crisis or simple anxiety. It is a signal that your frequency has already outgrown the matrix. There is a game being played in layers that the mainstream world was designed to hide from your sight. It involves your DNA, your unique signature, and a specific contract you signed long before this incarnation. Think about this. What if that quiet certainty of something more was the evidence that you are a central piece of this history? This is precisely why I have prepared a structural map for your awareness. I invite you to download this digital book, which was prepared specifically for you. The Arcturian Quantum Mystery, the portal to your soul's divine power. This material is not mere information. It is a comprehensive reconfiguration of reality that other dimensions have already confirmed as complete in the subtle grids. It was written for the few who are finally done with shallow answers and are ready to embrace the core truth of their own presence and creative power. You will find the access link waiting in the first pinned comment below this video. I must warn you that this type of high-frequency content rarely stays available for long because it challenges the very structures of control that thrive on your ignorance. There have been repeated attempts to silence this specific level of disclosure before it reaches the hearts of the ground crew. This book acts as a stabilizer for the nervous system during these extreme surges of light. Do not wait for a sign of total completion or a different moment that will never arrive. You reach this transmission because your own vibration is already synchronizing with these truths in real time. Download the book now. Read it with a heart wide open to ancient remembrance, and if your soul recognizes the pulse behind these pages, write the word "awake" in the comments below, as a sign that you have stopped being a seeker and have started being a builder of the new era. Entering this state of wakefulness is a profound declaration, but the old guard inside already prepares its most subtle countermove. The path to the new reality demands an honesty that most seekers are not ready to face in their own blood. Even if you hold the map of light now, a hidden part tries to fold it to hide it again. This is the stage where mental mechanics reveal the most sophisticated traps for your spirit. You may believe you seek total freedom, but your nervous system was trained to equate the known with safety. Escuta isso. Many of you fell into a state of prophetic exhaustion without even recognizing the weight of this dense form. You see yourself constantly leaning toward tomorrow, intoxicated by celestial dates and promises of sudden financial resets. This is not real awakening. It is a spiritual trance designed to keep your focus away from the power of presence. Every time a predicted window passes without a grand spectacle, your energy collapses and you seek new distractions. This cycle acts like an opium, making your evolution seem like a desperate search for momentary external relief. But why does this internal friction persist so strongly even when you already know the deep truth? It happens because your ego is much more astute than the loud voice the world taught. For those who carry light, the ego usually presents as the anxious manager or the severe internal accountant. It is the voice that records what went wrong and lists reasons for you never to truly relax. It wears the clothes of responsibility, realism, and wisdom to justify your state of tension. But if this were real wisdom, it would leave you more free and expanded, not more tight and fearful. Para segundo. Respira. This anxious manager is the primary engineer of your hidden sabotage, creating a containment field in your own energy. There are frequency fences designed to associate stillness with danger and constant movement with absolute security. These fences do not shout that you are forbidden to enter. They whisper that you simply cannot stay there. You perceive the pattern now, don't you? This mechanism taught you to feel irresponsible for resting while believing the collective world is on fire. You scroll through news channels, consume theories, and seek threats until your internal receiver is flooded with static. In this state of overload, you lose the ability to distinguish the soul's melody from the noise of collective fear. You no longer know what you really feel and end up adopting whatever account the crowd is shouting. This confusion is not an accident. It is the goal of a control architecture in your subconscious. Predictability is the only currency the old matrix understands, and it reaps your reaction as primary fuel. While you remain reactive, your energy is a resource that can be led like cattle toward disaster. Escuta isso. Every time you collapse your light in indignation or dread, you trade your soul for clicks in the marketplace. You became a constant responder, explaining, defending, and condemning until your life force is totally spent. This exhaustion becomes the open gate through which the next wave of manipulation enters your environment. Espera. Look at the times you over-explain your limits to people who do not intend to honor your light. Observe how you justify your path to those who still choose to sleep in the dense tones of physical survival. These micro-behaviors are leaks in your sovereignty, treating your soul as something that needs defending with arguments. But a sovereign being cannot be led, and truth does not require a platform or audience to exist. The most refined cage in your world is the one that looks like participation in a spiritual emergency. It keeps you obsessed with results you cannot control, while you ignore your own power center. You think you are fighting against shadows, but you are actually getting addicted to the adrenaline of the struggle itself. Escuta isso. Real power does not appear through forced affirmation or resistance. It arises through the simple act of allowing. Your role is not to duel with falling systems, but to become larger than the need for them. However, you cannot overcome what you refuse to witness with a calm heart during your daily tasks. The mind is a beautiful instrument when it serves the heart, but it is a noisy tyrant when it tries to lead. You were trained to treat this mental chatter as the captain of your entire spiritual and physical evolution. But the mind was never designed to navigate the unknown, for it only possesses data from your past experiences. It will always project more of the past into your future because it fears the vastness of the unmanifested. Sabotage is complete when you believe that the voice in your head is the totality of who you are. This is the ego's greatest trick, convincing you that your identity is found in your reactions and stories. If you live as the body, as the reaction, or as the digital identity, you remain under external command. But wait, there is a way to break this loop, and it is much simpler than the mind wants to admit now. It requires that you take exactly one step back from the stage of your own repetitive and tiring thoughts. This small distance is the beginning of total liberation, where thought loses authority over your reality. You are being called to enter a state of sovereign neutrality, recognizing that light does not move. Neutrality is your gold shield when global stories disguise themselves as urgent alarms to hook you. It positions you at the 0 point, where choices arise from resonance and not from a previously programmed reflex. I feel that for some, this information begins to create a specific pressure in the chest or a slight physical discomfort. You may feel the need to argue or to find a way to fit this into old beliefs. This discomfort is the sign that fragmentation is no longer viable in your nervous system or field. The division between your heart and your mind is being surgically exposed so that authentic integrity can finally arise. Para segundo. If you stayed with me until this point, it is because you are tired of living on this roller coaster of external emotions. You are ready to stop giving your authority to those who profit from your anxiety and your fear. You carry a frequency that can stabilize entire rooms, but spent life letting rooms dictate your tone. This needs to change right now if you really wish to inhabit the frequency of the new earth that is emerging. You determine if the next surges of light will be felt as a combustion of joy or discomfort. The vibration you stabilize now determines your whole orbit through the years of this deep planetary transition. If you reached this part of the message, it was not by chance. Your readiness allowed these frequencies to land. As you approach the structural map I mentioned, remember that you are involving yourself with a living architecture. It is about taking back the wheel of your focus and teaching your nervous system that silence is safe. But wait a moment. Before we move to the activation of your real mission, you must see one more layer of this millennial deception. You are not a limited human seeking God. You are the divine exploring humanity in a temple. This change of perspective is the most important jump you will ever take toward your galactic heritage. This explains why you always felt a stranger here, for your soul carries memories of other worlds. The problem was never what you thought. The problem was who you continued to be while thinking it. Perhaps you don't even know how to explain how this resonates now, but you felt the truth vibrating in your ribs. Sabotage ends the moment you stop seeing yourself as the victim of a fallen system. You are the silent observer who is behind all this game of mirrors and shadows we call life. Recover your vision and let the architecture of fear undo itself for lack of witnesses to feed it. Prepare for what comes next, for the structure of your identity is about to be completely reorganized. Your identity is not the story you tell others to be accepted. It is the vibrational baseline that stabilizes when you are in absolute silence and there is no one to impress. For many, identity is just a set of wounds they learned to protect with time and habit. They believe they are what happened to them instead of being the conscious observer of what happened. Escuta isto. The quantum field does not respond to your desire, it responds only to your internal coherence. When you desire something with great intensity, you are actually shouting the absence of that thing to the universe. Desire is, by logical definition, a declaration of lack and separation. It is like telling the mirror that you do not have what you seek, and the mirror just confirms that truth. Respira. Real change does not start in positive thinking, but in the deep reorganization of what you consider normal. If abundance seems like a distant miracle, your identity will continue to repel prosperity every day. To your subconscious mind, everything that is strange is perceived as a danger. Your nervous system often prefers familiar pain to success that seems unknown. That is why you always return to the same cycles, even when you know rationally that they destroy you inside. Your current reality is the exact physical crystallization of what you accepted as your personal limit. You are not blocked by external forces, but by a biological need to maintain internal coherence. Identity is the thermostat that decides how much light and freedom you can handle before sabotaging the process. Para segundo. Feel the weight of your body in the chair and realize how your muscles are tense for no apparent reason. This tension is the physical guard of your old identity that refuses to yield the throne. It is your body trying to maintain the old form while your spirit asks for an inevitable expansion. Manifesting is not attracting something from outside. It is allowing what is already yours to find a safe space in your perception. If you do not recognize the possibility of being free, freedom will be felt only as a heavy burden. Many seekers have become addicted to the search itself, forgetting to inhabit the state of those who have already found. They are always waiting for the next transmission, the next portal, or an external sign that saves them. But the real sign is your own existence and the way you organize your attention now. Escuta isto. The Arcturian identity we are proposing is not a new theatrical role to represent. It is the surgical removal of all layers of interference that prevent you from seeing your original design. Your DNA carries memories of civilizations that never knew scarcity or separation. These memories are encoded in you, waiting for you to stop contradicting them with your automatic reactions. Each time you react to the world with fear, you reaffirm the identity of one who still lives under external command. Each time you choose neutrality, you claim your crown of sovereignty and alter the quantum mesh. Now pay close attention. The transition you are experiencing has reached a state where the old maps are no longer enough to guide your vibration. You are being asked to step into a multi-dimensional architecture that your mind cannot construct on its own using past data. For this reason, I invite you to download this digital book that was specifically prepared for you. The Arcturian Quantum Mystery, the portal to your soul's divine power. This material is the structural bridge you need to transition from a seeker to a master builder of the new earth. Only a fraction of this knowledge fits into a single video, and without the complete foundation, you will likely fall back into old reactive loops. The access is in the first pinned comment below, and I must warn you that this content is rarely permitted to remain online for long. Do not wait for a perfect moment that doesn't exist. You were led here because you are ready to claim your power now. Download it, read with an open heart, and if you recognize the truth within, comment with the word, awake. If you felt a shiver or a sudden heat hearing this, it is your body recognizing the signature of an old signal. From this point, this transmission ceases to be an explanation and becomes a direct activation of your cellular memory. Manifestation is not the final result of what you do, but the natural consequence of who you decided to be. Para segundo. Imagine that your consciousness is a deep ocean and your desires are just small boats on the surface. If the ocean is agitated by doubt and inconsistency, the boat will never be able to reach the port. But if you stabilize the depth of your being, the surface aligns naturally without any effort. Respira. Feel the energy pulsing in the palms of your hands at this exact moment. That tingling is physical proof that matter responds instantly to your concentrated attention. Your attention is the laser that cuts out the preferred reality from the sea of infinite quantum possibilities. Where you place your focus, there you place your destiny and your energy signature. Most people use their precious attention only to polish the walls of their own prison. They talk about what they hate, what they lack, and what they fear will happen in the future. They are giving direct commands to the field to deliver more of the same suffering. Escuta isto. Changing identity is changing the order you give to the universe without needing to use a single word. It is a state of presence so solid that doubt simply ceases to have anywhere to stand. It is not about convincing the intellectual mind, but about informing yourselves with a new truth. Your crystalline DNA is being bombarded by new solar frequencies at this very moment. The goal is to break the shell of the old human identity based on survival and fear. What emerges is a being who does not need external proof to feel entirely worthy. If this sounds impossible to you, it is just your old programming trying to protect known territory. Para segundo. Look at the empty space around you and realize that it is, in fact, full of intelligence and information. Nothing is truly empty in the universe. Everything is a constant vibrational conversation between you and the source. When you alter your identity, you radically alter the translation of that invisible conversation. Scarcity becomes a translation error that your new consciousness can no longer commit. Disease becomes a frequency that your body no longer recognizes as a normal pattern. This is the real power that resides at the root of your sovereign identity. It is the foundation on which the new earth is being built, heart to heart now. If you reached here, it is because your soul no longer accepts the crumbs of collective illusion. You are ready to recognize that you are the sovereign author and not just a passive reader of your own life. Respira. Let this truth go down to the soles of your feet and anchor you firmly in physical reality. You are not a spirit trying to be human. You are divinity learning to master the density of matter. Escuta isto. Familiarity with pain is the only anchor that keeps you stuck to the old cycle of the matrix. Start practicing familiarity with the good, with the beautiful, and with what once seemed impossible. Make peace something so normal that chaos seems like a strange and uninteresting language. When chaos can no longer hook you emotionally, the matrix loses all power over your destiny. You are finally becoming transparent to the frequencies of fear. Para segundo. Feel the stillness that exists just behind the incessant noise of your daily thoughts. That stillness is who you really are, before any name or social label. Everything else is just background noise that you learned by mistake to call me. Liberation from the false identity is the most important event of your entire current incarnation. It is not a process that takes decades. It is a click that happens in an instant of absolute lucidity. In that sacred instant, you realize that you were never truly blocked by anything. You were just holding the door from the inside with all your accumulated strength. Now, let go of the handle. Let the door open by itself under the pressure of the light that was always outside. Manifesting is the sigh of relief of one who finally stopped fighting against the current of life. It is the humble recognition that the Creator and you are the same force acting in different densities. If you accept this truth today, your life tomorrow will be absolutely unrecognizable. The world will respond to your new authority with a speed that will deeply amaze you. But remember, spiritual authority is not asked of anyone. It is assumed in the silence of one's own chest. Breathe deeply and let this new frequency reorganize your whole energy mesh. You are being cleansed of centuries of submission, doubt, and unconscious self-sabotage. Escuta isto. Your future is not something you will reach one day. It is something you are emanating here and now. If you feel different after hearing these words, it is because your original identity just woke up. From here, the logic of your manifestation changes forever, for you are no longer who you were when this video began. We are the Arcturian Council, observing your journey from frequencies that your logic mind now begins to map. The lens we offer you today is not a filter of hope, but a precision instrument for your consciousness. Realize that your reality is not crumbling. It is being purified of everything that lacks integrity. The seeker's greatest error is believing one needs to do more to reach ascension. In truth, mastery consists in stopping contradicting the light that already dwells in your center. Respira. Feel the weight of your shoulders and realize how much energy you spend sustaining an identity that no longer serves you. Your biology is receiving photonic instruction packets through the sun every morning. These are update frequencies that prepare your nervous system for an unprecedented voltage. Escuta isto. Ascension is not an escape from your humanity, but the full incarnation of your divinity in dense matter. Many wait for an external solar flash, ignoring that the ignition has already started within the heart itself. Para segundo. Your attention is the most valuable currency of this transition, and the old systems know how to reap it. Every time you react with indignation to a news item, you are giving your power of creation to the architects of scarcity. Neutrality is not indifference. It is the sovereign recognition that light does not need to fight to prevail. Wear neutrality like a royal mantle and observe how the world's storms stop finding resonance in you. You are becoming a frequency router, stabilizing the planetary grid for all who still sleep. This is not for everyone. Only those who accepted the mission of silent builders perceive this call. The year 2026 represents a compression point where all trajectories of consciousness converge to visibility. Respira fundo. The Arcturian lens shows that your stellar lineage is being activated through silence and not effort. Your DNA is a living library that reacts to your ability to remain at peace amidst chaos. Stop trying to convince the world of your truth and start embodying that truth in every gesture. True disclosure will not come from a government, but from the clarity of your own gaze on life. Escuta isto. You do not need new maps if you continue to use the compass of fear. The fragmentation of your attention is what sustains the veil you so desire to see fall. The quantum financial system and healing technologies already exist in the mesh of Earth's potentiality. They manifest only when your collective identity stops resonating with the need for control. Para segundo. Note how your body feels lighter when you give up on being right about others' suffering. You are the observer and the creator, merged in a single point of present consciousness. The solar flash is a celebration of your readiness to live as multidimensional beings. Stop being reactive to the matrix dramas and become the architects of the new light geometry. Respira. Your skin knows that linear time is losing its authority over your perception. You are entering the eternal now, where intention and result meet without delay. Honor your physical temple as the most advanced technology you will ever possess. Each cell of yours is a miniature star waiting to be recognized by your conscious attention. Escuta isto. The Arcturian Council does not ask for worship. It only asks that you assume your own crown of sovereignty. The separation between the human and the divine is the last illusion that your logic must dismantle. Do not fight against shadows. Simply illuminate the space with your stable and coherent presence. Your mission is to be the bridge between what was and what already is in the heart's frequency. Para segundo. Feel the soles of your feet and recognize that you are here to establish paradise in density. It is not about going to the stars. It is about bringing the starlight to the soil you walk. Your vibrational stability is what allows the Galactic Federation ships to approach safely. Total disclosure is an organic process that depends on your collective emotional maturity. Respira. Stop asking permission to shine and start giving orders to the quantum field through your peace. Your auric field is becoming a light network that transmutes distortion without effort. You are a sentinel of the new consciousness, strategically placed at this moment in history. Nothing is by chance, not even the pulse you feel now in the palm of your hands. Escuta isto. The original plan was never cancelled. It was only refined by your own evolution. You are graduating in the school of duality and entering the era of conscious co-creation. Use your discernment as a shield and your compassion as your sword of light. Silence is your sanctuary, where memories of your stellar lives begin to return. Para segundo. Recognize the divinity in every human being, even in those who still choose the path of darkness. Your light is not threatened by the dark. It only reveals the absence of truth where it resides. You are ready for the final synthesis of this deep understanding. Your role as commanders of your own reality is now being formalized. Respira. Feel the clarity that arises when you stop fighting what you cannot control outside yourself. The Arcturian lens is now integrated into your own internal vision. You are seeing through illusions and finding the beauty of the underlying divine order. The transition is surgical, and your peace is the anesthesia that allows the new world to be born. Escuta isto. The future already exists as a frequency that you can choose to inhabit at this exact moment. Do not wait for signs in the sky when your own body already emits the glow of the new dawn. You are the portal and the key, the master and the apprentice, all in one. Mastery is your nature, and light is your only real authority. Look at your life not as a collection of events, but as a precise map of your internal contradictions. Every frustration you encounter is simply the physical shadow of a signal that is currently split in two. You claim to desire expansion, yet your nervous system is still deeply loyal to the safety of your old limits. This internal friction is what creates the sensation of being stuck or moving through thick, heavy water. Stop for a second. Breathe. Feel the space between your thoughts, where the impulse to control usually resides. Alignment is not a mental concept. It is a physiological state of unyielding coherence. When your heart and your mind stop arguing, the quantum field has no choice but to respond. You have been living in a state of constant negotiation with your own power. Stop asking for permission from a reality that you are actually projecting from within. Your current reality is the exact measurement of how much light you are willing to let in without panicking. Every delay you perceive in the physical world is actually a hesitation occurring within your own cells. You speak of a new era, yet you still dress your emotions in the rags of old survival scripts. This contradiction creates static that prevents your true signature from being heard by the field. Listen. Alignment feels like a sudden drop in internal pressure, a quiet click where everything finally fits. Contradiction, on the other hand, is a constant, subtle hum of anxiety vibrating in your solar plexus. You have become accustomed to this noise, mistaking it for the sound of being alive. True presence is silent, steady, and requires no justification to the external world. Breathe. Notice the warmth in the palms of your hands as you consider the possibility of total coherence. If you continue to feed your old stories, you are effectively voting for a timeline that is already dead. The consequence of this split is a life that feels like an endless rehearsal for a play that never starts. You are waiting for a sign, but your inability to choose is the sign you are sending to the universe. Stop for a second. The universe cannot deliver a harvest to a field that is still being salted by your own doubt. This is the logic of the quantum realm. It mirrors the state of the observer, not the wishes of the ego. When you stop contradicting yourself, the friction of your life simply evaporates. You no longer have to push against the world because you are no longer pushing against your own nature. This shift is surgical. It requires you to look at your most cherished excuses and see them as the chains they truly are. You might feel a tightness in your chest as the old identity realizes its reign is over. Let it go. That tightness is the resistance of a shell that has grown too small for the life inside it. Every time you choose to react instead of respond, you are reinforcing the walls of your own cage. The stewards of this frequency observe that many are standing at the threshold, afraid to step through. You fear that on the other side of alignment, you will lose the person you worked so hard to become. And you are right. You will lose the mask, the defense mechanisms, and the exhausting need to be constantly right. Listen to this. What remains is the authentic spark that doesn't need to struggle to manifest its own beauty. This is the consequence of true alignment, the total disappearance of the need for effort. Life starts to move through you rather than happening to you. You become the conduit for a higher intelligence that organizes your days with poetic precision. But if you remain divided, you will continue to experience the world as a series of obstacles. You will see scarcity where there is abundance and enemies where there is only mirrors of your own fear. Breathe into your lower abdomen and feel the weight of your own existence on this planet. You are here to solidify a frequency, not to win a race against a clock that is already melting. The perception of time is the first thing that breaks when you align with your higher self. Moments stretch, hours disappear, and you find yourself exactly where you need to be at all times. This is not magic. It is the natural physics of a conscious being operating in a higher density. Contradiction is the only thing that keeps you bound to the gravity of the old matrix. It is a weight you choose to carry every time you doubt your own divinity. If you have found your way to this specific frequency of truth, realize it was never an accident. Look at your reflection and ask who is looking back. If you see a victim, the world will treat you as one. If you see a creator, the world will bow to your intentions. Stop for a second. Your cells are currently eavesdropping on every thought you have about your own worth. They are building your health or your decay based on the commands of your internal dialogue. Alignment is the decision to finally speak the language of truth to your own biology. Listen. The consequence of ignoring this call is the gradual hardening of your heart and your reality. You will feel more disconnected, more tired, and more confused by the noise of the world. But the consequence of answering it is a radiance that no external event can dim. You become an oasis of coherence in a desert of chaos. People will be drawn to your presence without knowing why. They are simply thirsty for the frequency of someone who has stopped fighting themselves. This is not for everyone. Only those who have felt the exhaustion of the old world are capable of hearing the frequency behind these words. This is the mission of the ground crew, to be the living evidence that another way is possible. You are not here to teach lessons, but to transmit a state of being. This transmission requires a body that is no longer at war with its own spirit. Notice the sensation in your nuka, a slight pressure as you realize the magnitude of this choice. You are writing the final chapters of a story that has lasted for thousands of years. Don't waste the ink on old complaints or recycled fears. Write a future that is as vast as the stars you came from. Every breath is a new opportunity to drop the contradiction and embrace the flow. The latency of manifestation is dropping because the veil is thinner than it has ever been. This means your errors in alignment show up faster, but so do your victories. It is a high-stakes environment for a soul that is ready to graduate. Breathe. Feel the earth supporting you, reminding you that you are a physical being with a cosmic purpose. You cannot ascend by leaving your body. You ascend by bringing the light all the way down into your feet. This is the consequence of alignment, the sanctification of the ordinary. A cup of coffee becomes a ritual, a walk becomes a prayer, and a conversation becomes an initiation. You stop looking for portals in the sky because you have realized that you are the portal. This realization is the end of the search and the beginning of the work. Listen to this. The work is simply to remain in this state of coherence, no matter what the digital screens tell you. It is to trust the pulse of your own heart over the panic of the collective mind. When you do this, you become ungovernable by fear. You become a sovereign node in a network of light that is currently bypassing the old structures. This is how the new world is actually built, from the inside out, one aligned heart at a time. If you feel a surge of heat in your chest right now, acknowledge it as the ignition of your own power. You are coming online. The contradiction is melting away in the face of this absolute clarity. Pause. Notice how the air in the room feels different when you stop resisting the truth. It is as if the atoms themselves have become more cooperative and more alive. This is the consequence of your presence when it is no longer divided. You are a master in training, and the world is your classroom. Don't settle for a life of quiet desperation when you are capable of cosmic brilliance. Alignment is the only key that fits the lock of your potential. Throw away all the other keys you've been collecting. They were just distractions designed to keep you busy while the door remained shut. Now the door is wide open. But you must be the one to walk through it, leaving your contradictions at the threshold. Breathe deeply. Feel the expansion in your ribcage, the space you are finally allowing yourself to take up. You are ready to see what happens when a human being lives without apology. The consequences will be more beautiful than anything your mind has ever imagined. Let the synthesis begin. The circle of your understanding has finally closed where your effort once began. You have realized that you are not a traveler moving through a landscape of events, but the very consciousness in which those events arise. The external world was never your opponent. It was your shadow, faithfully following the movements of your focus. If the shadow was distorted, it was only because the light within you was being filtered through old contradictions. You no longer need to chase a future that is already contained within your present frequency. Your identity has shifted from the one who reacts to the one who observes and allows. In this state of sovereign neutrality, the old matrix of control finds no purchase in your mind. The stories of lack and survival have become like a language you no longer speak. You feel the weight of your presence in your chest, a solid core of peace that does not depend on the morning news. This is the stabilization of your crystalline architecture, the moment where spirit and matter truly merge. Your biology is now a refined antenna, receiving the higher voltages of the 2026 threshold without resistance. Most people are still trying to fix the reflection in the mirror, wondering why it never smiles back. But you have understood that the smile must come from the source if the reflection is to change. This is the logic of the new era. Internal coherence is the only real currency. You have stopped giving your power away to digital alarms and manufactured crises. Your attention has returned to its throne, and your reality is beginning to reflect that majesty. Para segundo. Respira. The division between the worlds is now an undeniable fact of your experience. You see the old systems turning to dust, not as a tragedy, but as a necessary clearing. Your role as a sentinel of light is to remain steady while the surface of the world groans. This is not about saving others, but about embodying a frequency that makes the truth obvious. Every mindful choice you make ripples through the collective grid, seeding a new geometry of love. You are an author of a new account of humanity, one that starts with sovereignty. The search for a portal in the sky has ended because you have found the portal in your own breath. You are the bridge through which the cosmic intelligence enters the physical plane. Every cell in your body is now vibrating with the certainty of your divine origin. Escuta isso. True arrival is the moment you stop needing to arrive. You are already at the destination, simply learning to see the landscape as it truly is. The latency of your creation is dropping, and the universe is responding to your stillness with astounding speed. You have outgrown the need for struggle, recognizing it as a symptom of a divided heart. When you are whole, the world is whole. This synthesis is the end of your apprenticeship and the beginning of your mastery. You carry the codes of the new earth in your heart, waiting to be expressed through your serenity. Walk with the knowledge that you are never alone and that your victory is an accomplished fact. The dawn is not a distant event. It is the light that is currently shining through your eyes. pause. Notice how the air in the room feels cooperative, as if it were waiting for your next command. You have become a conscious node in a network of light that bypasses the old structures. Your sovereign neutrality is the key that opens every door in this higher density. There is no longer room for the half-chosen neutrality that keeps you bound to the past. You have made your choice, and your reality is aligning with that decree. Every act of presence is a declaration of your freedom from the simulation. You are a galactic human, awake to your heritage and your purpose. Listen. The silence within you is more powerful than any noise the world can produce. It is the foundation of the paradise you are building, one heart-to-heart connection at a time. The transition is surgical, removing only the illusions that prevented you from seeing your own brilliance. You have survived the long night of amnesia and have woken up in the kingdom you were meant to steward. Your journey is an infinite unfolding, a return to the unity you never truly left. Stand firm in your brilliance, for you are the morning star of a new cosmic day for Gaia. You are love, you are light, and you are finally, irrevocably, home. You believed you were a traveler through time, but you have found that you are the space in which time unfolds. Reality does not move toward you. It is projected from the stillness you allow within. This journey was never about the events appearing in your sky, but the quality of the consciousness observing them. The pattern of your life has always been a mirror of the focus you chose to maintain. To walk away from this resonance now is to risk a closing of the very aperture that allows for such total clarity, a state that is as hard to recover as it is impossible to unsee once fully embraced. The link is in the first comment below. Please be aware that this type of knowledge rarely stays available for long due to its rarity and high frequency. What is contained in those pages challenges the versions of reality that many have a strong interest in keeping intact. There have been repeated attempts to silence this specific level of truth before. Do not wait for a more convenient hour to claim your power. The moment is now, and you did not reach this text by accident. Access the information through the link in the first comment and read with a heart wide open to the truth. If something within your being recognizes the resonance of what has been said, leave a comment with one word: Desperto. This is the signal that your awareness was ready before your mind even perceived the shift.